Hello, English learners. It's Michael here, and I'm sitting on the floor in the park with a very special guest today. This is Mona, and I'll let her introduce herself.
Hello everyone, this is Mona and good to be here.
Nice. Thank you for joining me. Maybe could you give us an introduction as to who you are, where you're from, and why you are in London?
I'm Mona. I'm 26 and I've been living here for 3 years now. I'm really enjoying myself. It's the best country ever. And I'm an English teacher. I've never changed jobs. And I have 3 certificates in teaching English, CELTA, TESOL, and another IELTS TTC. I'm trying to get my how's it called, the Delta soon. I don't know how. The hard one. I'm trying to find the time for it. I have this page on Instagram. It's called Use It or Lose It. Actually, I forgot my own page. That's awkward. And I think that's it.
Yeah, I'll put a link to it below, so make sure you follow. It's a great page.
Thank you.
And basically I've got some questions for Mona today, a little bit about culture and maybe some words, some influence from the Persian language to English and things like that. And it's a complete surprise to her, she doesn't know what's coming. First of all, why did you move to the UK and London? And also, did you have any culture shock, or was there anything that surprised you when you first got here?
So, your first question, why? You may find it interesting that I think above 90% of Iranians, let's put it in the correct way, they know English, or they're trying to improve their English level because they are actually thinking of immigration to different countries, European countries, Canada, America. And it's without question, it's because of a bit hard situation that is going on. So people are actually planning for the future by traveling, hoping for a brighter future, if you may. But
not in terms of the weather.
Not really. No, I don't think so. That's for that. And the second one, the thing that was shocking to me was how warm and friendly Europeans are actually here, because what we hear about it is totally different from what I see and experience, because we hear that because of the weather, as we discussed earlier with Michael, Europeans are sad or cold people, but I don't find them like that. Obviously they are very friendly, cool people. And that actually was quite shocking to me, because they're really welcome. I thought maybe I would feel like an outsider, and I really tried to blend in, especially the first 2 years. But then I thought, no, they're actually welcome to see who you really are from your own culture. They may actually prefer you not to blend in and be exactly how you are, who you are. So that's great. Thank you about that.
I don't know if you agree, but I feel like most people generally here, they seem very cold and distant, but when you get to know them, or when you even just asking a question, they'll immediately open up and be a bit less reserved. But just maybe to strangers, they don't appear friendly, perhaps. Would you agree? Yeah.
I totally agree, and it's also because I think it takes a little bit of courage to really open up and try to know people and befriend people, because for me it's a weak point. I find it a bit difficult to approach, but when I do, I find out that we're actually sometimes hoping that you do, and talk to them and explore things with them, and this is actually how we're friends now. So that's amazing.
Yeah, very true. I also wanted to ask you maybe some bad things here. Is there anything from your home culture that you would like to see here a bit more, something that's maybe missing in the UK that you would like to bring over?
There is only one thing that I can mention. It's a matter of respect, but not in a general form. Mostly what I find in children, because the way we grow up, it's a bit different from how children are raised here, not specifically in London, in Europe, I mean generally, because we always learn to behave ourselves and, be careful around the grown-ups, language, but here it's a bit different because I had a short experience working in a school with secondary students, and it's, oh my God, to me that's not so pleasant, let's say. But that's the only thing. The rest I really enjoy. Sorry.
Do you kind of mean like the way that students will treat the teachers and each other and that kind of stuff? Yeah.
Well, they're really cool with each other, and that's scary because they can gang up. And but no, I mean towards the teacher. Like if I can give you an example, we are we stand up when the teacher enters a class.
Oh, wow.
To show respect. They don't. They can even be sitting on their desks, looking at you, waiting for you to sit down. So that's a bit awkward for me, coming from the Middle East. But I think if one day I don't have any children, I would raise them a little bit differently than here. Hopefully.
So more respect for elders or authority, yes, and that kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of teachers that teach in schools here that aren't from here are very shocked, I've heard, because I think, well, the petal's falling down. I don't know if that's on the video, it looks cool. But yeah, because like kids they can be really horrible to teachers. They don't seem to appreciate that teachers, they're just doing their job, they're trying to help. It's a good point though, good point. How about the opposite? If we go back again, is there anything that when you go home to, I don't know what you consider home anymore, but if you go back to Iran, would you, and anything you would take from the culture here that you think could be good there, if that makes sense?
It does, and I think one of the things that I really appreciate here is boundaries. People always respect each other's boundaries. Nobody invades your privacy, and that's a really good quality that I would like to see more in my own country, because not everybody, but most of the people find it difficult to, keep the nose out of others' business, and that's not very nice, and it causes trouble. But again, because of being respectful, people find it difficult to confront them and say, okay, stop this. So, but yeah, that I see less here, and I love it.
What would be an example of that? Would it be like prying into people's love life or something like that?
That's actually a great example of that. Like, every New Year, the most frequently asked questions are, okay, when are you getting married? When are you going to propose? How much do you earn? The question that I never hear anyone asking here. How much do you earn? Nobody asks this here. No, you're not allowed to talk about people's salaries. If they like to mention it, they would, but you shouldn't ask. But it happens a lot in my country. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good point here. Like, I think it's good to know that like you basically never talk about your income or how much you earn here.
The other thing that it's a bit weird here, but it's natural, and you just need to familiarize yourselves with what is natural and what's not. So here, complimenting somebody's girlfriend or wife, it's quite normal. It's actually a compliment. Like you say, you got a beautiful wife, you got a beautiful girlfriend, and that's nice. But that can cause serious troubles in Iran. You should not do that. You can start a war.
I think I've heard that. I don't know if it was you who told me or someone else told me, but it's a really good thing to know so I don't get into trouble myself.
Yes. Careful with that.
I mean, I don't think we would do it too much here. I think it's more likely we'd say, oh, you're such a cute couple or something. But I suppose if you were closer with someone, you might say, oh, your girlfriend is so hot or something like that. But you wouldn't obviously do it to a stranger.
Yeah.
I also wanted to ask if you think you've adopted any like British tendencies, or something about your personality has become more British while being here. Because how long have you been here now?
3 years. And it's funny that you mentioned, because I've learned in an article that when you switch languages, unconsciously you're switching personalities. You're becoming a different person, and I see that. Like when I'm speaking in my mother tongue, I'm a different person than now, and when I speak to my other side of the family, the French ones, I'm still, again, I sound different, I behave differently, and yeah, I think that's all I can say about this. I cannot point out behaviors that I may have adopted from English, but yeah, that's all I can say about it. Sorry, maybe not satisfying enough.
It's definitely true, I think, that your personality will change in languages. I've noticed that with myself as well. It's really interesting how, I guess partly it's adopting a bit of the culture, but also it's just the way the language is structured. I mean, do you drink more tea than you used to? Do you say sorry more than you used to?
I hold the door more than I used to. But but tea is because that's actually what we have in common. The Iranians and the British, we drink tea. So I drink tea every day, 3 cups a day. And let's put it this way. Right now I hold the door for everyone. In Iran, if you're the lady, you just can go. You know, you don't need to hold the door that much. The gentleman would do it for you. But here, I would just hold the door for anyone. Ladies, gentlemen, kids, the elderlies, everyone. So yeah, that's a good thing, I guess. I'm picking up good behaviors, I guess.
That's a nice thing here, I think, holding the door. And so sometimes it's like a whole chain of like people holding the door that never ends. But yeah, I was listening as well, but also you might have seen listeners or watchers that I was a bit panicked because my camera almost fell over in the wind. So
oh, did it?
If I had a panicked look on my face, that was the reason why.
And for me, it would be a spider. So be ready for any jumping.
So the final part of our video, I also wanted to ask you how the Persian language has influenced the English language. I think it's really interesting to me how like languages influence each other, and it's often a two-way street. So do you know of any words that maybe came from Persian and are now used in English?
Yes, a lot. But the good thing about this is that we always thought that we have more loan words from English, and that's a one-sided road, but it's not. And when I found out about the Persian words that English has loaned from us, is it how you put it? Does that make sense?
I think so. Or stolen, maybe. They're not going to give it back. But,
all right. No, it's all right.
Yeah, we say loaned. Yeah.
We're honored. Yeah, so that makes me feel happy to see that, because right now Farsi, this is how we put it, Farsi sounds a lot like English because people use a lot of words in English, and that's a bit sad because it's like we're losing our own language, but I can see that some words appear in English as well, and that's soothing. So as an example, I think the most famous one would be bazaar, that everybody knows of. It's bazar, how we put it in Farsi. It's an open market, so it's a bit different from regular markets. But I think, for example, in the US, they can use it for all different types of markets. Yeah. The next one would be candy. May not so many people know about that, but it comes from the Persian word qand. So qand turns into canned, and then candy, the sweet things that you eat. So yeah, the other one is checkmate, as you played at chess. It's again, yeah, it comes from a Persian word shahmat. Shah is the king, and shahmat means when the king is stunned. The king has no more moves. He's blocked. But even right now, we actually copy the English. We do not say shahmat anymore. We say kish vamat. So it's more like checkmate.
So it's kind of been borrowed and then borrowed back again?
Exactly.
That's really interesting.
Okay, yeah, the word pajamas, well, again, it's a Persian word. It comes from pa-jame. There are two words. Pa means legs, and jame is clothing, a comfortable piece of clothing. So that's where pajamas come from. And again, it's another word that has been lent and borrowed back, because right now we do not say pajama, we say pijame, which is pajamas. So that's funny.
Very interesting. Thank you for sharing.
No problem.
Are you also aware of any words in reverse that do the opposite game again? But basically, how often do you use like English words in Persian? Like maybe you have a word or you don't, but you just use the English like normally.
On daily basis.
But what's a common word that you would use in English in Persian?
So there are a lot of words, but I can give you the simplest example: computer. Because we have a Persian word for that, but nobody uses it. We have royane, but no one ever says that. You always hear it in advertising on TV, so it's always computer. That's how we put it. And the thing is, because we have a lot of English words, that's why Iranians often find it a bit difficult to copy the right pronunciation, because we use the words but in our own Persian pronunciation, like computer, the example I gave you. So sometimes you can, just by listening to them, you know which class has the Persian students in them. You know that, oh yeah, they're Persians. So they're like always a consonant vowel. Ah, cute. And yeah, it's always like that. And the res are like the Italians. There is a re coming. It's not like English or British. There is no re at all. So yeah, that's I think we use it a lot. We use a lot of English words.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today. Maybe like before we sign off and say goodbye, is there like a closing piece of advice you would give to the listeners who are all English learners, or any final thoughts of wisdom from you?
Please do learn English. It is a lifesaver. You use it all around the world. Everybody gets it, and it's easy to learn. Yeah, that's for me.
If you work hard, yeah. I guess, yeah, easy if you work hard, yeah.
Okay.
But nice. Well, thank you very much for joining me.
problem.
Hope you enjoyed it, and hope you guys enjoyed it as well. And let me know what you think in the comments.
Peace.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. I've got friends who, I don't know where to look.
Both.